Well, hello, Internet. Welcome to GGameKnights. We are back with Squire Squad with some new faces. We've been away for a little bit, but now we're back. We've reconfigured some things with most noticeably our cast, and we'll get to introducing them in just a little bit here. But just watched our pre-stream video, which tells you about all the fun things we do on this channel. We've got a bunch of games most days of the week. Um, yeah, you can check our schedule beneath our faces if you're here with us on Twitch, or check out our Twitter or our Discord. Got lots of good things going on in all those places. Perhaps most excitingly, in terms of recent news, we recently hit 500 followers here on Twitch, so we now have opened our merch store. There is a link to that beneath our faces, a panel for it. We've got shirts, we've got mugs, we've got phone cases, we've got lots of fun sayings that you might have seen or heard in some of our shows. So you should definitely go check it out. What else? What else? Yeah, I think our schedule is mostly normal for the next little bit, which means our next scheduled stream will be on Thursday with Wild Space, then Neon Souls Friday, Saturday Night Star Power on Saturday. It's in the name, though would be kind of weird if we called it Saturday Nights and put it on a different day of the week. But anyway, like I said, that's all on our schedule, which you can find pinned on our various social medias. I think that's just about it for, the basic intro channel housekeeping stuff. So we should probably do player and character introductions. So I believe first we have David. Please tell us who you are and who you're playing tonight.
Yeah, it's David. I got a Twitter. It's links on the page somewhere there. But I am playing Kevin Spark, aka Chrysalis. The transform playbook. So yeah, like early puberty, he started turning into a giant metallic bug person. That is the outer layer of him. He's just a goo inside, a true chrysalis. And yeah, that's my character.
All right, and please remind us what his powers are.
Oh yeah, so the metallic shell thing is very hard. He has super strength, super senses, and he is telekinetic and telepathic. So yeah, yes. got a few of them.
Yeah, lots of fun stuff. And for those of you just joining us in the campaign, the players have each leveled up once or twice, so they've taken a few advancements, as it were. Thank you very much. LB, who are you? What do you do on the internet, and what do you do here?
Hi, I'm LB Hackemup. You can find me at LB Hackemup on the Twitters and the Twitches. I play a lot of stuff. Just check my Twitter for what I'm doing. Tonight I'm playing Corvid, aka Subrina. She is an alien shapeshifter. And her playbook is the Outsider. She has her power. She has radical shapeshifting. She has helikinetic, means she can create light beams, like Starfire. And she's just a bubbly, happy. She's a pastel goth, just happy to be around.
All right, thank you. Then, for the first of our new players joining us tonight, looks like we've got Tyler. Please introduce yourself.
Hi, my name's Tyler, at Frothy Inferno on Twitter, and I will be playing Flynt Silverhound, aka the Silver Wolf, using the Bull playbook. He's got super strength, skilled fighting, and he's incredibly tough. Yeah.
And we'll get into some of the, because every time a new character joins, we go through the new character stuff. But first, let's introduce our other new cast member, and then we'll come back and do that housekeeping. So, Danae, please introduce yourself.
Hey everybody, I'm Wings, also known as Danae Keener. You can find me at DanaeKeener.com and at Danae Keener on Twitter. I'm playing as Chloe Gardner. She is the Doomed playbook, and her powers are mostly plant-based, as you might guess. But specifically, mechanically, the ones that I chose were body transmutation, superhuman strength and speed, and vitality absorption.
Very fun, and you definitely have a lot of stuff that we will be talking about as we do this new character stuff just now. Though I'll finish things off. I am Alex. I'm OMG at some guy on the internet. I'm mostly here Tuesdays, Thursdays, sometimes Saturdays. Yeah. So let's see. Because we've got some new characters, we've got to do the kind of how did you join the team sort of stuff. You know, we'll get a little bit of your whole deal. And it's fortunate that you are in this order on the overlay because in the list of order that you're supposed to do for the playbooks, the ball comes first. So, Tyler, let me make sure I'm on the right page. So, okay, so, and for those of you at home, this will be a little bit different because of kind of how we're introducing these new characters. In fiction, Tyler's character is just coming to Port Arbor, so he is kind of going to be meeting the characters for the first time. So some of these questions might not make so much sense, or we might skip over them. But did you look at the backstory questions on your playbook, and did you answer any of them?
Right. Backstory questions. So, in the Bull playbook, it talks about someone changed the character, and the way that I've chosen to interpret this is that Flynt comes from a family line of werewolves, essentially. His he's just one of many, though his powers have been manifesting a lot more than his parents, who had pretty mundane werewolf abilities, and he's been pretty disconnected from his extended family, on his dad's side, and having just moved back to Port Arbor, he's kind of reconnecting with his grandpa, who is a lot more has more of a powerful history as a werewolf. Let's see. Who outside the team tries to take care of you now? His parents take care of him a lot, and in fact, he had to move away from his old school because he kind of got into too much trouble with his powers. So hopefully, joining the Squire squad will help reel in his abilities. Why do you try to be a hero? He just wants to be a really good guy. He wants to help people, and he was raised to do what's right and fight for good, and that type of stuff. And he really hasn't met anybody else on the team yet, so we'll see who he learns he actually cares about.
Yeah, very good, thank you. And you've probably been given a briefing on who your new teammates are, because you will be going out on patrol with them very soon. So we can't exactly do the when our team first came together question, because that hasn't happened yet. But there is one of the key aspects of the Bull playbook is the Bull's heart, where they pick someone to be their love and someone to be their rival. And these can change anytime. There are mechanical benefits to them as well. But let's see. I know at least we've talked a little bit about who your love is going to be to start.
Yeah. So to start, Chloe and Flynt are kind of childhood friends, and they've grown up long distance. But he still cares a lot about her and knows a lot about her. So that's falling in the love category for now. And as far as the rival category, I think when Flynt shows up to the group, he's gonna pick the biggest, scariest looking guy there.
Not knowing that Chrysalis is just a big ol' softy with a warm,
Yes,
gooey
exactly.
center.
He's big.
Yeah, but yeah, and we've talked about this before, but for those of you at home who may not know, the love and rival don't necessarily have to be, like a romantic love interest and I'm gonna get you, rival. It can be, those are kind of loose labels to apply to team members.
I have a question. Does it have to
Mhm.
be a team member, or can it be an
Not
NPC?
necessarily. Could be an NPC, but if it is a team member, it'll be more likely to come into play. But,
Because I've taken for Bull's Heart Defender, so that when I leap to defend my love or rival in battle, I get to roll Danger instead of Savior to defend them.
yep. Which for right now is very good because your danger is starting at a +3 and your savior is a -1.
Yeah.
All right, very good. Oh, and then the influence section. So this one doesn't give you a lot of choice. Just says you're selective about who you let in, give your love and rival influence over you, but that's it.
Yep. So both Chloe and Kevin will have influence over me.
Yeah, and so just make sure you have that on your sheet because there is a section for you have influence over and who you're influenced by. So you should make sure you add that you're influenced by Chloe and Kevin.
And likewise, I will add that I have influence over Flynt.
Yes.
Everyone has influence over Subrina.
Yes, we can.
Oh, it's because you're an outsider and you don't know what's going on?
No, it's because I'm an outsider and I want everyone to trust me and that I want to trust everyone.
Yep, so with the outsider, there's 2 options you can take for the influence. It's basically, choose your demeanor, haughty or cheerful. If you're haughty, you think you're better than them, give no one influence. If you're cheerful, you're thrilled to be here, give everyone influence over you.
Oh my god, I love that.
Yeah.
I just want people to like me.
Yeah. And then, going over influence again with the transformed, it was, you give influence to one teammate. So, as I kind of said before we started streaming, you're free to give them influence if you wish, Kevin, but it is up to you. So, yeah, we shall see how that unfolds. All right, I think that's all we need to do for the bowl to start. So let's go to the Doomed.
Oh, that's me. I'm doomed.
You are, but it's fine.
It's fine. I've gotten over it.
Yeah. So, which of those backstory questions have you considered? Any you feel important to share with the class right now?
Let's see. Well, I'm looking at the Roll20 sheet right now. I should probably bring up the
PDF.
the PDF itself.
Mhm.
I do know that I need to choose a nemesis.
Yes.
And I've chosen illness as Chloe's nemesis because she's been very sickly ever since she was young. And that's honestly that's her biggest rival, and like anybody who knows her from school knows that she's often sick and has to go to the hospital and stuff. Well, maybe they don't necessarily know that she goes to the hospital, but like she has had prolonged stays at the hospital, and it's not looking good. The prognosis is pretty bad for her. So that's her nemesis.
Yep. And so yeah, that will be part of the bookkeeping because the Doomed has so many things. You've got your Doom, you've got your Nemesis, and you've got your Sanctuary. And for those of you who may be more familiar with the system, where they really encourage you to hit the the doom and gloom with the Doomed every session. We're gonna kind of hand wave that a little bit. So if you're like, hey, they didn't deal with the Nemesis, she needs to mark her Doom track. it's my game. We're gonna do that when I say we should.
Yeah.
All right. So let's see. Do you
And
have?
if you know the way that I play games, I'm going to be marking that Doom track for every little thing. So don't you worry about that.
Yeah. So maybe we should talk about your doom a little bit more right now. So. You're doomed, your powers may be killing you, or maybe you're hunted ruthlessly, or maybe you embody an apocalypse. But one way or another, your future is grim. What brings your doom closer? Choose two.
The two things that I chose for my doom were overexerting yourself and talking about it openly. She doesn't like to talk about it. It's kind of a bummer.
Yeah. So, we'll see. And also, it'll be up to my discretion, how much is talking about it openly, whether it's enough to trigger a doom track. Because if you're just like, oh no, I was sick again today, you would be dead just from how many people you had to tell that.
Yeah, no, it would be more than just saying like I'm sick. It'd be like, oh, it's killing me. Sorry, that's sad.
Yeah, so things along those lines. I forget. So, which of the doom signs did you choose to start with?
I picked Burning Bright.
And that is
For well, that I was back and forth about these actually,
sure.
because there's a lot of different things that we could pick here. Burning Bright would be basically ignoring any of the stated requirements to call upon the resources of my sanctuary. And the reason why I picked that one was because I had a feeling that she'd be pretty well acquainted with her sanctuary, because I'm planning on that sanctuary being the greenhouse at the school.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and we will get to the sanctuary in just a little bit here. But yeah, so you can definitely, that would make sense if you are so familiar with it. It would mean, so sometimes when you try and use your sanctuary to do stuff, I may say, okay, you need this, this, and this. And with that doom track, you can just be like, nah, screw that. I'm going to mark my doom track and just be able to do it. So we should probably talk about your sanctuary now. So
Because all of the other doom signs are very like powers based stuff. And if she's just like if her powers are just emerging and she's just starting to get a handle on them, I feel like the sanctuary is something that she's a little bit more familiar with.
sure, yeah, makes sense to me. All right, so your sanctuary, and don't worry, we will come back to the starting relationships and the influence question, but we'll do kind of the doomed housekeeping first. So you have a place where you can rest, recover, and reflect upon your powers. Choose and underline 3 features of your sanctuary. Have you looked at this list before and considered what you would like?
I have looked at it. I haven't decided on anything yet.
Okay.
But if you give me a short time, I will be able to like, well, I don't know. Let me actually get the thing that has the list up.
Yes. So while you pull that up, I can read it for the audience. You can choose an aid or assistant, locks and traps, a library of valuable tomes, a scattering of ancient relics, a teleportal, a containment system, a powerful computer, useful tools, a meditation space, a power battery, a power enhancement system, healing equipment, art, music, and food.
I'm gonna go with tomes, useful tools, and art, music, and food, because that sounds like things that would be available in a greenhouse at a school, as opposed to like I don't know, powerful computer.
Makes sense.
Some of the more mystical effects there. This is really more of a like a hangout on the roof of the school.
Yeah.
There's like a vending machine
that you have probably rejiggered so that you can just get stuff out of it for free.
Yeah, just bonk it. There's I imagine that the art department comes up here and they're allowed to paint on the walls and stuff. They do a new mural every year.
Yeah. And I also imagine with the spring fling coming up, you have probably been asked to provide flowers for decorations.
She's been busy.
Yeah. Now, there are 2 downsides of your sanctuary. It's possibly difficult to access, draws dangerous attention, location known to many, easily damaged or tampered with, or tied intricately to your doom.
I'm gonna say that it's known to many. And what was the one? Easily accessed or tampered with?
Yep.
I easily accessed or tampered with, I'd say.
Makes sense to me. It is a greenhouse at a public school. All right. So then the rest of that is just if you decide to use your sanctuary to solve a problem, say what you want to do, and I will give you some number of conditions to fulfill, which with your doom track or doom sign you may be able to ignore.
All right. Cool.
All right, so now let's go back to the starting relationships and influence. So you have 2 relationship questions to fill in the blank. You told blank all about your doom and the danger you're in, and you'd love to kiss blank before your doom comes.
I'm gonna say that I've told Flynt all about my doom. He's the guy. He's the guy. He knows. And you got to pick someone to kiss, huh?
Apparently.
All right. What if I well, fine. I'll do it. It's Subrina. She's got a crush on Subrina.
I'm assuming Subrina is completely oblivious to it.
Yeah.
And I don't remember if
She
we
just
said...
found out that she could ask someone to the spring fling, so like she's a little behind
That's
on
true.
things.
Yeah. I forget if we talked about it at all, but on stream, but we've discussed, you two said that Chloe and Flynt are childhood friends, but we've also said that Chloe and Subrina are friends, though they don't know about each other's powers currently.
So they're like mundane friends. I discussed this a little bit with LB. I think we decided that they're biolab partners.
Yeah.
So
Subrina is oddly really good at that.
So is Chloe. Crazy.
Yep. And so then, with what Chloe and Flynt have shared with each other, you just said you've told Flynt all about your doom. Do you two know about each other's powers, or have you just told Flynt, like, hey, I'm terminally ill, and this is kind of what's going on?
I think Flynt just knows that she's terminally ill. However, I don't know. It's hard to like hide Flynt's powers. I don't know, Tyler. Do you think that Chloe knows about Flynt's lycanthropy?
He's not a subtle man. Yeah, I think Chloe would know about his powers. Though he tries to hide it. He's just not very good at it.
The excuse that we had for them being childhood friends and not living in the same area was that like they went to like kindergarten together or something, and then like when the time came for them to go to high school, like Flynt went out for sports, so he went to the school that was going to give him like a good scholarship, and Chloe went to the school that was had the better science program, because she wants to become a scientist when she grows up, or as close as possible.
If she grows up.
If she grows up. Secretly, she kind of harbors this desire to like try and cure her own disease. So she's just kind of living out of spite. Like, I'm gonna take this thing down. I don't even care anymore. Also, I'm a teenager and I'm invincible. So like the concept of death means nothing to me.
Yep. Living out of spite as a spiteful teenager. That's a very good starting point. I think the only other questions I have about who knows who and what is, so Chloe's been at this school for a while, so you probably know about Kevin. Do you think you two know each other more than just in passing, because you have seen Subrina hanging out with Kevin, the bug kid, at school.
Well, my understanding is that Kevin is pretty smart, right? Like,
Yeah.
like, is he in nerd circles?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, he probably does some after school nerd clubs. I don't know what they would be.
Chloe's definitely entrenched into nerd circles. She's like maybe they're like in an AP like science class together.
Okay. Yeah. Do like AP physics.
Yeah.
Kevin's more of a physics person.
They're familiar enough with each other. Like I wouldn't call them friends, but like they are aware of each other. I mean, it's like you're the bug person and she's the one with green hair that's like always missing. So
Mm-hmm.
we're
Okay.
aware of each other for sure.
Yeah. No. And then, so we're gonna pick up with kind of, this will be Flint's first day at school. So, do you think it's conceivable that, because I'm assuming Flint told Chloe, like, hey, I'm coming to your school. And do you think Chloe's told at least Subrina, like, hey, one of my best friends is coming today? Or how much do you think, more likely Subrina, but maybe even Kevin knows about Flint ahead of time? I guess I will say you, Kevin and Subrina and Chloe too, would know that the Silverhound family is very well to do in Port Arbor.
Sure. Yeah.
Like, she could definitely have mentioned, you know, during a school project, you know, how kids will talk and whatnot. Just mention that, oh, you know, my friend Flint Silverhound is coming to town. Like, Silverhound? You mean like the family, the famous Silverhounds?
Yeah, there's. I don't think. Oh, go ahead.
How likely do you think it would be that Chloe and Flint are going to the Spring Fling together?
I mean, yeah. I think Flint just assumes that he's gonna go to the Spring Fling with Chloe.
So it's come up probably. Like if Sabrina like brings up the Spring Fling and it's all like, oh Chloe, who are you going to the Spring Fling with? Chloe's like, there's this guy who's coming to school, like he's fell down or something. I don't know. Yeah, it fell down. It literally fell down. So he kind of has to go to this school now. And my mom wants me to go with him to the Spring Fling, make him feel welcome or something. So, yeah, I have to. So now I have to go to the Spring Fling. I didn't even want to go, but I guess I am. So, are you going?
Yeah, if I can get a date. I'm just so excited that you got a date. Apparently, it's very hard to do.
I mean, like, we're not dating, really. He's not. But yeah, you could go with us if you wanted. Like, it could be like a three person going to the date kind of thing. If you wanted to do that, you don't have to. I mean, you probably have someone you want to go with, so that's fine.
I thought you were supposed to go to the dance with one person.
There's a lot of bugs on these potatoes. I have to do something about that. I'm gonna go get some pesticide.
All right. So I think that more or less wraps up character introductions. Anything else anyone feels like we may have missed, or questions people would like to ask about any of the new characters or old characters?
Let's see what our characters look like.
Oh yeah,
because I just realized we didn't do that. Chloe's kind of a scene kid. She wears like black clothes for the most part, and she's got kind of like some green hair and a hat, a slouchy hat, and glasses. And every single day she wears a black shirt with a plant pun on it. Today it's a succulent that says "suck it," spelled with 2 C's.
I like it.
Flint is, you know, looks like the jock, like the football player. He's a bigger guy, pretty hairy. and essentially just looks like Scott from Monster Prom.
Yeah.
Why
LP
you do
just
this
made a
to me?
face.
I have a
No.
question. Is he
Mhm.
as good looking or better than Hector?
I'm pretty sure one of Hector's powers was godlike beauty.
Okay, all right.
So let me
Sorry.
just quickly check his sheet, which for Wings and Tyler, the character profile for Hector was young All Might. So
Yeah.
so yes, there may be some references to him here and there, but yeah.
And his
So
father, the Golden Duke.
yes. But Tyler, we've talked about how Flint's able to kind of shift at will. So sure, he's probably normally hairy. I assume he's not as obviously.
Yeah. He's not like as obviously a wolf, a good old doggo.
Yeah. Good to
He's-
know.
He's just like a big dude in like the Letterman jacket, right?
Yeah, essentially.
All right. Kevin or Sabrina, would you like to describe how you are? Though I'm not sure how much more for Kevin we have about Big Metal Bug Kid.
What color metal?
It's like a silver chrome kind of thing.
What color is his eyes? Are they does it go over the eyes as well, or are the eyes a different color?
They're same color.
Same color.
There's not actually eyes there, so
And like the bug that you're basing him off of is like a mantid.
yeah, kind of manted. Think like centaur with like 4 big bug legs and then like upper body.
Okay.
It's sectioned, and the sections can kind of freely rotate because there's
Right.
again, it's just liquid inside. The shell is nothing.
course.
There's no actual skeletal structure to care about. So
So is there like no like forward or like horizontal articulation? It's all like straight up like totem that goes like this.
no, he can move that stuff around a little bit, but yeah, they're kind of
Okay.
loose fitting. But yeah,
Okay. My understanding is that he becomes like kind of bigger and scarier and spikier when he goes hero mode, and he also like floats around. Does he float around as like a kid in high school as well?
yeah.
Amazing.
The floating's a little bit newer than, because I just got the telekinesis and telepathy pretty recently. But yeah, now that I got the hang of it, just floating around everywhere. Who cares?
The mental image of just like you sit down in class next to Chloe and she's like, the floating's new.
Hmm.
Is that
Yeah,
like
gotta practice it.
is that like puberty or something?
I mean, the
Weird
whole thing is kind of like puberty, really.
Oh, okay. All right. Sorry, that was a weird question.
Don't, you know what? I don't know that there's normal questions about me, so it's fine. It's fine. Your questions are fine.
Yeah, if I had telekinesis, I'd float everywhere too. That's really cool.
Thanks.
Oh god, I love it.
All right, and Sabrina / Corvid, what do you look like normally?
Yeah. So Subrina normally looks like how I look now with the dark roots and the blue and she's got normally dark lipstick on or like a pastel color to like go with whatever makeup she's doing. She always wears like at least one thing black or fishnets under like pastel colored clothing. She tends to have like a lot of bows or like little clips in her hair that match her outfit completely. As Corvid, she is probably like 4 inches taller. She has straight green hair and wears a gas mask that like a rave mask that has green lights on it. Her eyes glow green, and she has a raven feathered outfit and black sort of leggings that are like leatherish. She wears a big cape that flows black on the outside and like that sort of raven green on the inside.
Like iridescent on the inside.
Yeah.
So
All right. Well, I think that does it for character introductions. Shall we get back into the story? So, because it has been most of a month since we last played, kind of the last thing that happened, the Squire Squad just dealt with a Freaky Friday segment, but they are now safely and comfortably back in their own bodies. Though you've gotten word that Ego's exchange time has come to an end, so he is going back to Korea. It's unclear whether or not Hector is coming back. Sounds like he may still be doing more training over there. Skylar and May have kind of just they haven't completely vanished, but they're curiously absent from school today. But as you were all arriving at school today, you saw the new display of superpowers from people who had previously not expressed any powers before. There was Avery with super strength, who lifted an empty car and almost threw it at Ashley, who had super speed. And you recall that they were getting into a very big, loud fight in front of the school about, who's going to ask Jade to the spring fling. Jade being, the cool, popular senior that, is friends with everyone. Everyone's friends with them, but also would be, you'd be the almost certainly, well, because the spring fling isn't quite at the level of prom or formal, so it's not like there would be a spring fling king and queen or anything, but you would be the coolest kids if you managed to secure Jade as your date. But they eventually came to their senses and stopped fighting out front. But then at lunch, another person threw their hat into the "I want to ask Jade to the dance" ring, and that was River, who displayed ice powers and nearly froze a bunch of people in the cafeteria. So it is now post-lunch, and we'll say you all are in your next class for the afternoon, and this is when, well, you would know, this is when Flynt is coming and being introduced to the school. Weren't quite able to make it for the morning, and with everything that was going on, it was almost considered whether or not to bring you in today, but they decided, no, school's important. We need to get him into school. Let's just do this. So, what class do you all want to have after lunch?
You'll make it math. I'm bad at math.
All right, so it is math class. We'll say it's calculus, and the teacher is saying, "All right, class. I hope you're all doing all right with the excitement that's been going around today. But we've got something also exciting today, though a lot more mundane. We've got a new student joining us. So, Mr. Silverhound, if you would please introduce yourself."
Please. Mr. Silverhound's my grandpa. I'm just
Right.
Flynt.
Well, Flynt, welcome.
Hi, everybody.
Chloe, that's Flynt?
Yeah.
He's so hot. Why didn't you tell me?
And many students in the class are going, doe-eyed over Flynt.
He is 100% oblivious to that. And now he's just looking for a chair to where to sit.
You can go sit, I think next to Kevin back there. Should be an open desk. And Kevin, who is always at the back of the class because he is so tall.
Flynt makes his way to the back and sits down, looks up at Kevin wow, you're really big.
Yeah.
Awesome. How'd you get so big?
Unclear.
I usually think I get really big just because I eat a lot of protein, like meat and chicken and beans, and he just goes on.
The teacher has begun the lesson. You are still listing off your diet. They eventually notice you are still talking. Flynt, you're here for school now.
Right. Yeah. What are we learning?
All right, let's take it from the top. And points to the board and it's like derivatives and starts going over the math lesson.
Chloe, you have to introduce me after class.
Great.
I'm
And-
concerned about our calculus class. That in the spring fling, we're just learning about derivatives.
Listen,
This
it's
is-
been a decade since I was in high school. I forget what the curriculum is like, or maybe you're
Wait,
this
block
is like
scheduling?
this is
maybe
the
only a
advanced
semester
curriculum
long?
class. You are taking this a year ahead of when you should
Okay.
be. Then why is Flynt in this? We'll figure it out.
There was a scheduling mishap.
Yeah. Listen, I didn't want to get too into the nitty gritty of the high school portion of things because I think that would only be fun for me. But anyway, it is, math class passes mostly uneventfully. As you are transitioning to your next period, Kevin, Subrina, and Flynt, you all get messages on your Paladin communicators, your Squire communicators that basically say, due to personnel changes, we are going to be assigning you a new squad mate. You will be meeting him after school today, the Silver Hound. We will be sending you out on patrol, as we will be very busy at HQ. More details to come after school, because the Paladins are very intent on making sure not to interrupt your school as much as possible.
School's important.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Sabrina's gonna go up to Kevin and just like, wait, does this mean we're not on the same team anymore?
I mean, we got to be on the same team, right? Because we both got the same message.
Right.
I don't know about anything else.
Okay. I hate not knowing. I wish we could just go now.
But as you are transitioning through to the next class, you have there's an intercom announcement that says, "Attention all students, we will be having a special assembly for the last period of the day to discuss the incidents that have happened at school today. So teachers, please be advised of the updated schedule and bring your students to the auditorium when it is time."
Oh, well, it's just an assembly. We can ditch. Right?
But please shouldn't. That's really not good, Kevin.
Yeah, I don't know how I'd get out of here without anyone noticing anyways, so.
Yeah, I mean, I could turn into a bug.
Mm-hmm. I wasn't worried
Oh,
about you getting
sorry.
out of here without anyone noticing.
Maybe we can sit next to Chloe and her new friend. Well, her old friend. New dad.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile,
Sure.
Flynt is just talking Chloe's ear off. Like, it's so great to see you again. You gotten like so much taller than last time I saw you. And is it because like of all your plants or like how does that work?
Yeah, I've been kind of like growing like a weed.
Anyway, I've been doing great. I was playing on the football team, at the last school. And this one game, and it just is going on.
Do you tell the story? Like this one game turns out to be like the game where you knocked your school down.
I was gonna save that story for another time.
Okay, that's fine.
As you all are walking through the hallways, you see posters and decorations for the spring fling this Saturday and just everything. And, some people on the dance committee as you pass through like the main hallway of the school being like, make sure you get your tickets and, offering, just people are getting very excited about it. And you hear whisperings from nearly everyone you pass talking about, okay, who are you going with? And da-da-da-da-da.
Kevin, have you decided who you're going to the spring fling with?
No, I still kind of wonder if maybe we should try and make sure we protect Jade somehow from all the newly powered people who are unhealthily obsessed with them.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Do you think that one of us should ask them? Just to like
Sure.
protect them? Do you want to do it?
Yeah. I wasn't planning on it.
Oh. Do you want
If
me
you
to do
think
it?
I should.
I think
I
you
feel
guys
like
would
it
be
would-
really cute together.
Mm-hmm. You know, sure. I feel like, yeah. Okay, sure. I'll do it.
Yay! Okay, cool.
So who are you going with then?
Oh, shoot. Ah! Well, now Maya's not here today. Maybe I'll go with her. But I don't know. I thought somebody had to ask me, but I was told that that's not the case anymore, so now I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah. And you know what? If Jade doesn't want to go with me, you can always ask them out. It's fine.
Okay. And if they don't want to go out with either of us, then we could go together.
Oh, okay. That makes more sense. I was going to potentially do something crazy. Yeah, sure. Us
Don't
together
do
is
that.
fine.
You have the weirdest ideas sometimes. Chloe! Chloe! Just yelling across the hallway. The completely full hallway.
Chloe is like in between Flynt and like Flynt is still talking right at her, like hasn't stopped, and now Subrina is yelling from the other side, and then Chloe just kind of has this moment of realization, just like, oh god, there's two of them.
She's gonna try and get Chloe's attention and just like, she's gonna yell it, but like basically like, sit next to us at the assembly.
Okay, Chloe will sit next to you at the assembly. I imagine Flynt tags along.
Yeah. He's just walking alongside Chloe wherever she goes now.
You have a puppy.
Yeah, essentially.
More than you know.
The rest of the afternoon is fairly uneventful. The only thing you might notice is that despite it being a very sunny day, sometimes it seems like there's just an odd shadow out of the corner of your eye, but you rub your eye and it's gone. So maybe it's just, it's getting in the afternoon, you're tired, it's high school, you're teenagers, you don't sleep enough, or you sleep too much, or it's whatever. But soon enough, the last period comes and it's time for the special assembly. And you all assemble in the gymnasium / auditorium, and it's
We're over here. Chloe, hi, over here.
Yeah, I see you. I'm coming.
and there is more or less a designated Kevin spot so that he obstructs as little view as possible for others.
Yeah, like a designated Kevin spot. Oh no. Chloe will go over to where Subrina is and basically like shove somebody's backpack, like cause some asshole put their backpack on the bench and not on by their feet where they're supposed to. She just shoves it to the floor so Flynt has a place to sit.
Yeah, they are at first upset, but then they see Flynt and they don't care anymore that now that Flynt gets to sit where their backpack was.
Sabrina just leans over. Hi,
Hi, what's your
I'm
name?
Sabrina.
I'm Flynt. It's nice to meet you.
It's nice to meet you too.
Have you met Chloe? She's the
Yeah,
best.
Chloe's like my best friend. I mean, besides Kevin and Mai and Skylar and
You
Hector.
must be really popular. You've got so many best friends.
I have a lot of friends. I like
Yep.
people.
At some point, like Chloe just kind of like keeps on sliding back further and further until she eventually just kind of falls into the like bench behind them. And she'll go crawl up to where Kevin is and sit next to him instead because these two are just going to talk over her the entire assembly.
Gotcha. So yeah, you probably Sabrina and Flint are now just the row in front of you, but you are far enough away that you will not be in the middle of the chatter boxes. But the assembly soon starts, and it's you can tell it's kind of hastily thrown together. There are a few typos in the PowerPoint, but it's basically the school guidance counselor saying this is a reminder that overt usage of powers at school is not allowed, especially in such a way that might be potentially harmful to your classmates, and just basically saying like, hey, those kids who were using their powers at school, don't do that. Like, they were clearly not, because again, it's kind of an open secret that your school has members of the Squires there, but they have never been, in too much trouble for making use of their powers, and this is clearly something where it's like, okay, we are aware that these are new, these powers have just recently developed, and so they may not have the best control over them, but we still need to remember to do our best to, keep everyone safe, and it goes on, and it's nothing too terribly exciting for you all.
Did you have people with powers at your old school?
Not that many people had powers in my old school, and I'm kind of surprised there's so many people here with powers. Do you have powers?
Nope.
Oh, okay. That's fine. I don't have powers either, because I'm just, I just moved here because of reasons.
Uh-huh.
You're both rolling nat ones on your deception checks.
They both just go quiet for a while.
But they both have bad insight, so it's like, it's landing.
Imagine Chloe is face palming behind them.
Yeah. Just kind of an eye roll. So she looks over at Kevin. She's all like, "So do you think they mean that you can't use telekinesis anymore?"
Like flaunting it around the hallways and stuff? Maybe I should stop. I don't know. Until they tell me specifically not to float down the hallways.
Yeah, I reckon you could probably get away with that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I think probably after the assembly, Kevin, you get an email to your student email that's actually just like, hey, please keep floating. Like, what you're doing is okay. Like, the floating has saved us so much on cleaning and maintenance costs for the floors.
Just like a 2-ton bug constantly crushing the tiles everywhere.
Basically. But just basically being like, okay, I know we just had an assembly about don't use your powers, but your powers aren't hurting other people, so you're good. But, the assembly is filing out, or actually right before the assembly's done, you kind of would have noticed, because basically whenever they were talking about, like, oh, the students who suddenly use their powers, that those 3 are not in the assembly currently, but Jade certainly is, and everyone, got like a high school full of people just suddenly turning to look at Jade because everyone knows that they were fighting over Jade, and Jade seems to be taking it reasonably well, but when the assembly is done, they kind of rush out before everyone else.
It was nice to meet you. I gotta go. Subrina weaves her way through the crowd to try to find Jade.
Yeah, and so you go looking for them. You check the parking lot first. You know that they haven't left yet because they have a jade green car, because they're just gonna go fully into it. But if you keep looking around the school, you do eventually find them kind of out back behind, the bleachers of the field, just trying to find a quiet spot.
Subrina, unaware of that, is going to approach and just like, hi, don't worry, I'm not gonna attack anybody.
Okay, I guess it's been the kind of day where, yeah, you do need to clarify that.
Are you okay?
I'm not, I think so. It's been a day. I mean...
It has. It was kind of scary there for a little bit.
Yeah, and every time there's a dance, people want to ask me out, but it's never, gotten to powers like this before.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. I didn't even know those people had powers.
I didn't either. And so it's just... God, it's.
Well, I know it's been pretty stressful for you. So I was thinking if you wanted to, my friend Kevin, Kevin is like the one with the big bug. Like,
Right,
looks
yeah?
like he and I don't have dates for the spring fling. So if you wanted to go with one of us as like a just tell people that you're going with someone so they stop bugging you about it, that's totally cool. My parents'
Claudine, I
car
get
is
it.
like awesome, and like we can have popcorn and stuff. And then we get if you want to go like out to food, I know a really good restaurant.
Okay. Sabrina, right? It's very sweet of you, and I might take you up on the offer, but today is just, again, it's been a day. I don't know if I'm ready to make that decision yet,
Yeah.
but I will definitely keep both you and Kevin in mind. That might
Kevin's
not be
really
too
great.
bad. Oh yeah, I'm sure he is. I've heard lots of good things, but anyway, I'll think about it. But just today is.
Yeah. No, I totally get it. That's totally fine. I just want to make sure you're okay.
Yeah, it's. I don't get it because I mean, they were all at my party this past weekend, and they didn't have powers then, but suddenly they do now, and it's,
Some
anyway.
animals give off pheromones, and like maybe you have that too. Like, and people just go crazy for you.
That would be. I mean, I would like to think it's just my natural charisma, but I guess pheromones are natural too.
Well,
But
that's not what I meant. I mean, you're totally cool and everybody loves you and all that too. But I just because it seemed kind of like sudden that it's all happening right now.
I mean, I guess, but pheromones that give people superpowers?
No, I don't think that makes sense. I think more it's like people really like you and then they get powers and then they don't know what to do about it.
Okay, maybe. I mean, no. This is a lot to think about. I think I need to get going.
Okay. Bye. She runs away, like skipping.
All right, and so for the 3 members of the Squires, you receive updates on your communicators that say essentially, all right, details of your new squad assignment. We are very busy at HQ. We have nabbed the nefarious villain, Red Herring, and we will be interrogating him. And Red Herring is just the the worst of the worst. He's the biggest bad in the city. It's very fortunate that they apprehended him, but now they need to figure out what he's up to before his nefarious plans can come to fruition. So they are scrambling the Squire squads a bit and sending you out. So they've got Chrysalis, Corvid, and they say you'll be helping out 2 new Squires. There is the Silver Wolf and the Squire Squid. And so they give you basically tell you, okay, meet up at this street corner, and that's where you'll start your patrol. But so, Flynt, I assume you were still mostly hanging out with Chloe. What do you do to disentangle yourself?
Well, I think like after the assembly, Flynt actually starts like chatting with Kevin a bunch,
Okay.
and unconsciously is just like going to the place that he's supposed to, just going directly there. He's not like trying to hide the fact that that's where he that like he's supposed to disentangle himself from people before he shows up to like the job. He's going on about, yeah, so I got kicked out of my last school because I broke all those bones. Not my bones. See, during the game, like I was running for the end zone and I was really into it and I had the ball and I was going to the end zone and I went right past the end zone, and I guess I just kind of forgot that I was supposed to stop, and I really like running, so I just kept going, and I kind of went through the wall to the building, and that was apparently a load-bearing wall, and everything came down. Everyone lived though.
I'm very glad. Is Chloe still here with us?
Where's your meetup spot?
It's not too far away from the high school because they know that, the squires that are in the squad are at the same school, but it's far enough away that they could and should get into their costumes first and then head there.
Right.
But you just see Flynt and Kevin heading this way.
Yeah, basically just sort of like she like peels off from them as soon as it becomes clear that they're going to be leaving the school. She just kind of like, okay, bye. And then she'll go upstairs and take care of some plants.
Yep.
She'll just be up on the greenhouse. I want to say that it's conveniently located where she can see a lot of what's going on around the school.
Yeah, because the school is kind of on its own block where it's the big school building, and then field for sports, and it's a public school, but it's a very nice public school. Lots of facilities and amenities, so it's essentially a campus for the city block that it's on. So you can see around for a fair bit, especially towards where there's the open field.
Yep. I want to say that she takes care of plants because it's like gardening therapy. It makes her feel better and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think she's necessarily noticed that this is what's happening quite yet. But when she takes care of her plants, she doesn't need to use pesticides or weed killers or anything because she's just kind of naturally and accidentally killing all of the bugs and weeds that come into the plants with her vitality draining powers. So we see her go up to a plant and just sort of water it and then sort of look at it and stuff, and then there's another plant that's somebody else's responsibility and it's all eaten up by bugs. And she just sort of looks at that and shrugs and then walks away, and then the camera pans down and you see all these dead bugs around her plant.
Yeah, she walks away. A couple that were on the undersides of the leaves just plop down into the dirt. Very good. Let's get back to Kevin and Flynt as you are nearing the meetup point, and neither of you have still broken off to get into your Squire outfits.
All right. So Flynt,
Yeah.
I'm with that story having been told. I'm gonna take a bit of a leap of logic here. Are you maybe a squire?
You would know you're not supposed to just admit it to people, but you are also, maybe you are starting to put two and two together. It's like, oh, I'm going to be meeting with Chrysalis. Chrysalis is a big bug, dude. If I took Kevin and added spikes, that would be Chrysalis.
How do you find out?
Maybe it's just all the new people with powers today, and I'm just being a little extra vigilant.
You're pretty smart.
Thanks. Yeah. So, if that's the case, I am Chrysalis.
Oh, okay, that makes a lot of sense.
All right. Silver Wolf?
Yeah, the Silver
Okay.
Wolf.
All right.
I came up with that myself.
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, an homage to your family and stuff.
Yeah. Anyway, so if we're gonna be working together, how does this work? What are we supposed to do?
We'll find out, I think. We're going on patrol. I don't know if they have a specific target in mind.
Awesome. Well, I mean, I've got my costume, and he pulls out just a tiny mask that he puts on. See, now no one can tell it was me.
I think I probably go into my backpack and have my little jumper thing, not jumper, but the little safety vest that shows that I am part of the Squires. that
Yeah,
I wear.
because Chrysalis's form would be fairly terrifying, but there's been a concerted PR campaign by the Paladins to be like, hey, no, this is one of the heroes. He's a good guy.
This is all brand new to Flynt. He doesn't know how most of this is supposed to work.
Yes.
He just knows that he can be, that he's part of the squad now, and he's supposed to do good.
Yeah, and part of that is, they were going to do your onboarding, but then they caught red herring this morning, and that just took priority. And so it's kind of like, okay, we'll get you signed up with the squad. Just get a disguise, a costume of something. We'll help you come up with an outfit later. But for now, you'll go with them. They'll show you the ropes, and when we have, the manpower, we'll be able to properly onboard you.
Cool, makes sense. And since he's not the brightest boy, put on a costume just means to him cover your eyes, because obviously, whenever you see superheroes, you can't tell who they are because they cover their eyes.
Yep.
He doesn't change his clothes or anything.
That logic checks out 100%.
I think when they get to the spot, Corvid is completely in her outfit, her Corvid outfit, and she is upside down, flying. So her cape and hair are just above her head, and she's kind of just spinning in place, with her arms out, waiting for everybody because she got there so much earlier.
And so you two arrive, and you see a spinning Corvid hanging in place. You see the two boys arriving.
Whoa, who's
Hey.
that?
Chrysalis. Who's this?
Look who I met, Silverwolf, along the way. Really, we walked here from school.
Oh. Hi, I'm Corvid.
Hi, Corvid. I'm the Silver Wolf.
Corvid, you can tell it's Flynt with a terrible mask on.
Uh-huh. I like your outfit.
Thanks. I like yours. Wow, it's all stuff, and I should make more. We'll get to that.
Yeah, no, it's totally, if you need help.
And as you three are meeting and greeting, you see the nearest manhole cover start to shift and move, and there's some kind of watery tentacles that move it to the side and then pull a figure up who, it's better than Flynt's outfit, but not by much. In that there's a cape as well, and a slightly better domino mask covering the eyes, but they are, they appear to largely be made out of water, though there is clearly some entity underneath the water. And thankfully the water is clear, despite having evidently traveled here and gotten here via the sewer. But they replace the manhole cover, kind of turn towards the rest of you and say, "Oh, hello. You must be the rest of the squad. The Squire squid. Shall we get on patrol?"
Oh, he's so adorable.
And I think this is probably a good place for us to take our break. So we are going to take a little bit, refresh ourselves, refresh our drinks. You should too. Get some water, take your meds, stretch, use the bathroom, all that good stuff. We'll be back in just a little bit, so don't go anywhere. Welcome back, Internet. Thanks for hanging out with us while we took our break. We are just gonna get right back to it. So we've got the newest Squire squad, consisting of Chrysalis, Corvid, the Silver Wolf, and the Squire Squid, ready to, head around town. They have been sent out on a patrol because Paladin's HQ is quite abuzz with activity, as they have just caught the nefarious red herring and need to figure out what he's up to before it's too late. So there is slightly less direction and oversight for you all, but fortunately, Chrysalis and Corvid, you are experts at this by now, and so it's just well, okay, given on where they have started you in the city, you're going to be patrolling the area kind of around the school. And so they've instructed you to teach your newest teammates, the Silver Wolf and the Squire Squid, what it means to be out on patrol. And Squire Squid in particular is just like,
Yes, so this is where we go around and do we say hi to the civilians? Do we just kind of be there? What do we do?
Well, our job as protectors and the squires is we want to show that there is a presence of superheroes so that the supervillains won't think to attack. But if there is a problem, then we take care of it. Unless it's too big of a problem, then we don't take care of it when we call everyone out.
Right, so if there's a supervillain around, they are probably not so foolish as to attack when the squires are there.
Right. We've been doing this for a long time. We'll walk you through it.
All right.
I like walks.
Take us away, O fearless leaders.
Corbin looks to Kevin like, did I do a good job there? Was that?
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, like I said, just a patrol, just walking around. If you want to say hi to people, you can. It's not really my thing. It also depends on if we're being open or stealthy and things like that. This group tends to be pretty openly on patrol, so it's a little more okay to say hello to folks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you would know that you are told to be like, yes, be out there on patrol visibly. So, yeah, this is kind of a meet and greet as well as you are going about.
Well, if we're like supposed to be on patrol, like out and about, and like open about it, should I be like in my different form?
You have a different form?
Yeah. 100% you should be in the different form.
Is there anything like I don't think there's any actual game mechanics because he's still just the bull, but like he just turns into anthropomorphic wolf man.
Are you a shapeshifter?
Yeah.
That's really cool. Can you turn into anything else?
No, like this is just what I can turn into.
Oh. That's cool.
just
That's
like-
I can turn back. he just turns back into But yeah, he will do his patrol in his wolfman form. Still the same clothes as he was wearing before, and they're like stretchy enough so that he can like change into this slightly bigger, more beefy form.
Yeah, and so now probably
He's wagging his tail very excitedly. He is so pumped for this.
Now we got to figure out who is taller, Chrysalis or the Silver Wolf. Is there any kind of posturing? I would assume more so from the Silver Wolf side of things.
Yeah, I think he'll like try and like make himself look taller, but I think the Chrysalis still has him on the size department.
But you see the Squire Squid in particular watching your transformation. You're like,
That is fascinating and very interesting. Good to know. Well then, shall we commence our patrol?
Real quick, Squire Squid, what's your deal?
Oh.
Just so we know what each other's deals are.
I can do hydrokinesis.
and just
What are
kind
you
of,
guys looking for?
you know, they've
Is it me?
they're a fairly short humanoid. I mean, probably barely 5 foot, if that. And again, it's kind of, they seem to be mostly made up of water, though they have adorned, humanoid clothing that seems to be keeping its shape and not getting wet. So they've just got like a red shirt, beige shorts, and then domino mask and a red cape. But they've also got sort of kind of Doc Ock tentacles made out of water coming off of them that are, you see them reach out and they extend for a fair bit, but then they, come back and kind of condense back in.
Cool.
Wow.
All right.
What
That's
are your
so
guys'
cool.
powers?
I can fly, and I have telekinesis abilities, and she her eyes and her mask glow brighter, and she has this light coming from behind her under the cape.
It's really
Oh,
cool.
shiny.
I
Thanks.
wish I could fly, but I can't.
I'm also pretty tough. You could probably hit me and it wouldn't hurt that much. You don't need to do it.
Okay, I wasn't going to because that would seem really mean to just hit somebody.
Thanks. I appreciate that.
Telekinesis / giant metal bug guy who's real strong. So, and I have super senses.
You read my thoughts?
I can. Yeah.
What am I thinking about right now?
I'm not very good at this yet. I'll try and.
Head,
This
real
sounds
empty.
like an Unleash Your Powers roll.
Okay. Maybe I am really good at this. That's a freak, right?
Yes, roll plus freak, please, as you attempt to overcome an obstacle, reshape your environment, or extend your senses.
And I have influence, right? So I get a +1.
Yeah, you have influence over Flynt.
All right.
Literally because he thinks you're cool.
Yeah, it's entirely because he thinks you're cool.
All right, so that is an 11, a full hit. So on a hit, you do it. And because it's a full hit, there's no other things to this. So, Flynt, how much of your mind does he manage to read?
Well, head real empty, but he's right. Like when he said that, he was thinking of a ball, of a little red rubber ball bouncing.
You're thinking of a bouncing rubber ball.
Where? Oh yeah, that's what I was. Yeah. Wow, you're good. Killing Danae with being the good dumb boy.
He is the best boy.
Hector.
Oh, I don't think we can handle that much himbo.
Oh my god. We will
But-
start the patrol.
So you start making your way around, and Squire Squid seems to be very into it. Like anytime you go past an alleyway, they kind of move and take an action pose and stop right there, evildoer. And they say that at every alleyway.
Oh man, like Flynt is also going to do this, just like behind him, like trying to imitate, just because he thinks that's a cool thing to do. Stop right there, evildoer. How'd that sound?
Good. I think you could be, you've got the resonance for it. You could be a little more intimidating, I think.
Okay. Stop right there, evildoer.
Better.
But by and large, of course, the alleyways are empty. One time, you scare a cat who, goes running out between your legs.
Flynt has to physically restrain himself from chasing after the cat. No, doing the job.
I think they're doing really well this, for their first time out, Kevin. They're doing really good.
I was going to say Kevin's hanging further and further back because he does not want to be associated with this. This is too embarrassing for him.
Sabrina's just kind of watching, like, all right. I mean, they're enthusiastic. Good job. She's just like, yeah, you guys are doing great. Really. First time out, you're doing good.
And Squire Squid and Silver Wolf are definitely drawing the attention of any civilians passing by. I mean, you're in the area around school, and it's not too late after school let out, so you see several students from your school who don't seem to recognize you, but going by with their phones out and taking pictures and video and
Yeah, Flint will pose when people try to take a picture of him.
Sabrina's semi-internet famous after hanging with Skylar so much. Or Torvid, not Sabrina.
yeah. Yeah, so,
But she can't. She's wearing a mask.
so yeah, your Squire Squad is fairly well known because, I mean, remember you've also got the morning DJ, radio DJ, Wayne Watts, who is a big fan of your squad. So y'all get talked up a lot, though. So as people come up and talk to mostly Corvid and Chris, it's like, hey, who are the new guys?
That's the Silver Wolf and the Squire's Twid. The Squire Squid.
Yes, hello.
Hi
It's their
there.
first day.
Never fear, citizens. We are here to protect you.
They're doing great.
Right, yeah. Well, can I get a selfie?
Sure.
All right, cool, thanks.
Bye. I like people. People are so cool.
People are great, except when they're mean to you. Then they're not great.
People are mean to you?
I mean, not directly to me, but there are mean people out there.
Oh, yeah.
Ah, yes, mean people, like villains, right?
Yeah.
They are the worst. Yes, indeed. Absolutely the worst.
You
know, we-
laid it on a little thick there, Squire Squid.
Am I? I mean, I'm trying to be a squire to the best of my ability.
All right.
But you all continue along on your patrol. As you've been going, it's kind of more the same. The alleyway posing, people stopping and taking pictures. But, it's probably 4, maybe getting closer to 5 now. Sun's still out, though, because it's spring. Probably just had daylight savings happen, and so it's bright all day. And so it is, you're noticing again kind of that thing you notice in the afternoon in school of just odd shadows out of the corner of your eye that, if you turn and look, it's gone, or you rub your eye and it seems to be gone. But just
Like, as Flint is noticing this, like, he's starting to get, like, a little bit more jumpy. Just because, like, peripheral movement-based vision, so he's just, like, constantly jumping around. Like, you guys seeing that?
What?
Just, like, I think I see something, and I look at it, and I don't see it anymore. It's really weird.
Yeah, kind of. It's kind of been happening all day, though. Thought it was just like a floaty in my eye.
Name those floaties.
Mhm.
But yeah, what's up?
And I'll say probably Flint, because of you being so attuned to that kind of thing, you are able to catch, at times it seems like, especially as you are getting ready to leave past an alleyway, you see what seems like a person moving, like a shadowy person moving out of the corner of your eye further down the alley.
Like, if he once he catches sight of what looks like a shadowy person, he's just gonna straight up chase after it.
Okay, so there's one alleyway, and this has happened enough times. And Flint, you were kind of like, all right, enough's enough. I'm gonna give chase, and so
Need to figure this out. He chases after it.
Do we
Oh,
go with
no,
him?
we have...
Would this seem at all weird to me? As I don't like the eyes and all those things. I don't see in a traditional way. / I have super senses.
yeah.
Is there anything?
I'm just looking because it would seem like now would be a time to assess the situation, but none of those questions really do much for you here. So I'll say, you are also noticing more of the shadows going on, but you can kind of tell that it's Um, there are shadows moving where there shouldn't really be shadows because of the lighting going on, but it's also, you can tell there's something going on that's interfering with your sensing of it.
I think follow him. Yeah. So this is purposeful. No, whatever we're seeing, someone's tailing us. They're blocking my ability to sense them.
All right. And so as you fly up, Chloe, you can see Corvid pop out of an alleyway near the school from up on the roof.
I imagine that she's got like a radio going that's like, you know, it's all like, hey, and the Squire squad is out on patrol. And like, she kind of like looks out and she sees Corvid go flying. Oh. Well, here's a weird question.
Mm-hmm.
Should she have a crush on Subrina or should she have a crush on Corvid?
Why not both?
That kills me.
So it's up to you whether it's crush on one or the other or both.
Well, the thing is that I'm not gonna like this character's not gonna be acting on any of this for a while yet.
Sure.
I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. For that matter, it's not something she'd share with anyone either.
Yeah.
So she just kind of like watches that go by and just sort of like, shrug. Heroes doing hero things. She'll like pack up her backpack and get ready to go home.
And it's also, you know, as you're doing that and get ready to leave, you see, you know, Corvid is making her way kind of towards the school, as you also see coming out of an alley kind of back to the campus that the high school is on. Flynt, you've been chasing the shadow, but then you burst out of an alleyway and you're back at the campus and there's no more shadow person.
He's just gonna keep like looking around and just trying to find a source or any sort of source of what that could have been.
Yeah. And so Chloe, you see a very obviously Flynt in wolf form suddenly back near campus.
She's gonna kind of roll her eyes and like shrug her backpack onto her shoulder, and she's gonna head downstairs so that she can go and tell him off. Like, you're not supposed to use your powers on campus, dumbass.
So as you are making your way down the building, Corvid, you have caught up with the Silver Wolf and see him looking around confusedly. Chrysalis, you and the Squire Squid have been making your way and catch up as well at about this time.
What is it? What do you see, boy? Corbin wouldn't say that. Just had to. What is it? What did you see?
There's something out here. I know it.
Chrysalis, do you sense anything?
Yeah, I'll reach out with. I'm going to try with the telepathy and see if I can sense any hostile intent or anything nearby.
Okay. Please roll an Unleash Your Powers roll as you attempt to extend your senses.
Woo!
All right. That is a 12, another full hit. So, yeah, you are able to, and now you're kind of, whereas before you had been focusing just on the Silver Wolf and were able to fine tune it, and that helped. You reach out and you get like senses. There's, you know, the idea of a chase from the Silver Wolf, Corvid trying to be in command of the situation. You get, there's like a
Mostly panic.
fuzziness. Yeah, perhaps a little bit of that. There's like a fuzziness that is different from the general ambience around. And it's as you try and focus in on that, there's almost like a faint whispering in the back of your mind that, you know, it's not a language you can recognize. You're not even sure if it is a language. But what draws your attention actually away from that is coming from the Squire Squid is kind of the thought of, is now the time to strike? Do I do it now? Is now when to do it?
It's clearly he's thinking about hitting us, like doing something.
You are 95% sure that that is what's up, yes.
Okay.
And as you are realizing that and coming to Chloe, you are emerging from the school. You're like across the street from them. And as you are maybe about to say something, Kevin, Chrysalis, the Silver Wolf, and Corvid, you get a message on your Squire communicators. You notice that the Squire Squid does not seem to get a message. You check it and it says, Red Herring's power wore off. We realized he was being a distraction again. He said that he has been hired to distract us so that someone could get you. Do not trust Squire Squid.
Hey!
You know how like werewolves in Skyrim just do that like really lanky like arm thing?
Mm-hmm.
That's what he's doing at Squire Squid right now.
It's like T-posing, but your elbows are down.
Yep. So, Chrysalis, do you have anything to say with this additional revelation?
I've been hanging out with Squire Squid, right? Like he's pretty close by.
Yeah.
I think I'm just gonna not say anything and just go in for a full just backhand at him.
Okay. So I think what we need to do now is let me turn on some of the action music, and we need to do the when you enter a battle against a dangerous foe as a team questions. So when we do this, go ahead and add 2 teams to the pool. So you all have access to that document, but only one person can really be editing it at a time. And you do benefit from having a shit ton of team from the previous sessions currently. So we also need to designate a leader for this encounter, even if it's not like, okay, you're the leader. We just mechanically need to set one, so whoever seems to maybe be the most in command.
Boy.
I'm not involved in this fight, but I would argue that it's Kevin or Chrysalis because he's the one that, like, you know, he's instigating, really.
Yeah.
I would totally agree with that.
All right, so Kevin is the leader. Does the leader have influence over every teammate? And this will include Chloe for this, the purposes of this encounter.
Then no. Yeah.
All right.
Oops.
That's okay. Does everyone have the same purpose in the fight?
I mean, I know that like Flynt has probably like flipped the switch where he's like, uh-oh, that's a bad guy. I don't like bad guys. So that's his purpose, to take out a bad guy.
Yeah. Protect
Yeah.
our friends.
Beat the hell out of Squire Squid.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And you know, we can kind of hand wave it with Chloe because you're just emerging to this right now. But so we can go ahead and add another team to the pool for that. Does any member of the team mistrust the leader? Does anyone mistrust Chrysalis or Kevin? Okay, so we're good there. We don't need to remove a team. Is your team ill-prepared or off balance?
I would argue no, because we've trained for this. Although this is Flynt's first day.
And
Yeah.
up until, 10 seconds ago, Flynt trusted Squire Squid implicitly, without a question. So,
So I think I am gonna say, yeah, you are ill-prepared or off balance. So remove a team, though the leader can mark a condition to avoid removing a team from the pool. But also you have so many from before.
Yeah, if my count is right, we have 7
We have
Team.
6.
6? Okay.
Because we had.
I would 100% argue that Chloe is not prepared for this fight.
Yeah. You should be at
Did we have
8.
7?
Because
Oh.
you started at 5, added 2
I
just by
what?
default, and then because
Oh,
everyone has
2.
the same purpose.
Oh.
I mean, all right. I
Yeah,
can argue
so-
with you.
Yep, so for the newer
Yeah.
players, as a reminder, with team, what you can do is anyone on the team can spend a team out of the pool to give a teammate +1 on a move after the roll, but you have to be able to actually help in some way.
Okay.
Yeah,
That makes
and
sense.
multiple teammates can spend team from the pool to help on the same roll, but each teammate can only spend 1 team out of the pool for any single roll and still have to be able to actually help. And there are a couple playbooks that are able to spend more, but for the most part, you can only spend 1 per roll per move.
Okay, so like the purpose is to get a little extra oomph into a fight or
Yep.
into rolls.
So, for Powered by the Apocalypse, the rolls fall into 3 categories of states. There's failure, which is 6 or less. There's mixed success, 7 to 9, or a full success, 10 plus. And so usually you would want to spend team from the pool to move it up to the next category. But also in masks, you gain experience when you fail a roll. So sometimes you may want to say, no, I'll take the fail and gain the experience instead.
Right. Okay. Cool. And remind me what the consequences of failing rolls are.
It'll depend on the situation. It'll be narrative. Often it will be, I told you to mark a condition, either a specific one or one of your choice. And conditions are kind of the health in masks. You have them, the villains have them too. And
Because if you mark all your conditions, then like you have to, like you're out for the count.
Yes, if you mark all of them, but what I might also do is, if something happens narratively, I may tell you to take a powerful blow. And so you'll roll that button up at the top of conditions on your sheet, and that is the one roll in the game you want to be a lower number. Because you will roll plus the conditions you have marked, so the more conditions you have, the more likely you are to get a higher number, and therefore a worse outcome.
Totally makes sense. All right. Cool.
Yep. This is Tyler's first Powered by the Apocalypse, first mask, so we are doing some explaining. But it's all good.
And conditions is the like thing that's unique to masks. Like Powered by the
Yes.
Apocalypse, a lot like they have a lot in common across the systems. But conditions is the thing that's completely new to us.
Yes, though I believe Thirsty Sword Lesbians also has conditions, but for this it is
I'm sorry, what was that?
Dude,
Thirsty
go
Sword
on.
Lesbians. Go check it out. I have the PDF. I can
Don't
share it
mind
with
me, I'm
y'all
just gonna be
later.
over here googling.
But so there are 5 conditions. There's afraid, angry, guilty, hopeless, and insecure. And it says on your sheet, if you have it marked, you take a -2 penalty to the relevant roll. It also tells you how you can clear it, which is usually, you have to do something kind of bad to clear it. And there are other ways to clear it as well, in the comfort and support stuff, but we can get into that after the fight. So, as we are about to begin things, as you kind of read the words that say Red Herring's power wore off, you realize it extended to the Squire Squid, who, as you look at him now, you're just like, hey, wait a minute, that's just Kai Jr. in a shitty costume. And so, Chrysalis and Corvid, you in particular have experience with Kai Jr. before. Chloe and Silverwolf, you may have heard of him before. He's a ocean-based fledgling supervillain. He keeps trying to attack and just keeps getting rebuffed handily most of the time, but he apparently has put together a plan this time to try and do something. But so Chrysalis, as you were going to attempt to smack him, I think that's a directly engage the threat roll. So please roll plus danger.
All right.
Is it just me or is Chrysalis a freaking badass?
I mean, let's see. What are your stats right
It's
now?
on par, 100%.
Okay, cool.
You've got +2 danger and +2 freak. Your only
Yeah.
negative is to mundane.
Yeah, I've also only rolled danger and freak so far, so
Yeah. So for directly engage a threat. On a hit, you trade blows. On a 10+, you pick 2. You can resist or avoid their blows, take something from them, create an opportunity for your allies, or impress, surprise, or frighten the opposition.
okay. I think I am going to impress, surprise, or frighten the opposition.
Okay. That's what.
And create an opportunity. Is that just team, or do I give a specific?
You can use it to kind of just give +1 to an ally's next roll. You can also, I'm double checking some of the. Yeah, you can also use it to just add to the team pool if you wish, or you can make it something more specific.
I think I want to add +1 to the next roll. I think I want to kind of just have kind of spun around and hit him towards the team. Like the torso just kind of spins and hits him, surprising him and moving him towards Silver Wolf.
Okay.
It's just
So yeah, you surprise him. So you either you smack Kai Jr. He stumbles. There's some water flying everywhere, and he kind of ends up like on hands and knees in front of the Silver Wolf, but turns back towards you, Chrysalis, and says,
Well, I guess the ruse is up, eh?
and he shoots out one of those tendrils of water just straight at you, and it's with surprising force and sends you flying back into the building behind you, because you did not resist or avoid their blows. Yeah, let's go ahead and have you mark a condition your choice.
So with the bull's heart, can am I able to like try and defend him here so that he doesn't take a condition?
You could. So for that, you would roll to defend, which because he is your rival means you'll roll plus danger instead of savior.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna try and do that because he's my new best friend, and only I get to beat him up. I guess.
Okay.
Ooh, not a great roll.
Well, so that's a 7. So on a 7 to 9, what would happen with defend someone is, you do keep them safe and choose one of the following options, but with the 7 to 9, it will cost you to either expose yourself to danger or escalate the situation. Now, you could also have some of our teammates spend some of the copious amounts of team that you have in the pool to bump it up to a full success, but...
Well,
yeah, what is
full success is a 10 though, right?
Yes, in which case you would keep Chrysalis safe. You wouldn't have to expose yourself in any way.
Did you roll a 9?
I rolled a
7.
7, so that seems like a lot if I can just go ahead and expose myself instead to defend him.
All right.
And when you said that, so Kai Jr., like, he looks different than what the Squire Squid looked like?
No, he looks the same. There was something about, as you were realizing this, like, certainly Chrysalis and Corvid have been briefed on Red Herring as he is a known supervillain in the area. His power is to make himself be a big threat, a big distraction, and he is often hired to be kind of a fall guy for other supervillains to go about doing what they wish to do. But when his power's not working, he's just a guy who has the power to, basically draw attention to be a red herring.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, and so you are now realizing part of what that was doing was making you think that this other known supervillain in a shitty costume was a different person and not just Kai Jr. in a shitty kid's costume.
Okay, cool. So, when Kai Jr. attacks back at Chrysalis, Flynt's gonna be like, Squire Squid, how could you? And like try and get in the way.
Yeah, so I think you try and go at the Squire Squid, but it's at the same time as he is lashing out with that tendril. So instead of hitting Chrysalis, you get caught, and you're the one who gets flung into the building.
Awesome.
Though I will say, because you did defend, you can pick to either add a team to the pool, take influence over someone you protect, or clear a condition. And if you take influence over someone you already have influence over, you get to shift their labels.
Right. Okay.
You gave influence to Kevin. I don't know if
Yeah.
you have influence over him yet.
I do not have influence over him. So, sorry. Still learning the rules
That's
here.
Perfectly okay.
I suppose I'll just add a team to the pool. That seems like the most useful right now.
Sure. But because you are, maybe, okay. So I think what's going to happen is, you get slammed into the wall. You're gonna be mostly okay with this, but it is going to escalate the situation, and so we're still, people are probably getting out from clubs after school right now, people like Chloe, and so there are a number of student civilians who are nearby, and Kai Jr. lashes out with more tentacles and starts grabbing them up, including Chloe. You get snagged by one of these watery tentacles and are now dangling somewhat in the air.
What row? Raggy.
Yeah.
Okay, so she gets snagged and pulled up into the air. There are other civilians in danger as well.
Yeah, other students as well who are now in Kai Jr.'s clutches.
Okay. Yeah, she's a pretty good civilian in distress here. She's not at all prepared for this. But I think without her even really realizing, vines just kind of automatically start to crawl out of her skin and dig into the water, and basically, yes, plants like water, slurp slurp. Gonna do some vitality absorption. Would you reckon this would be like a unleash your powers situation?
So unleash your powers is kind of the final catch-all move if there's not a more specific one. So I think this will be more directly engage a threat.
Okay. It doesn't really matter so much for me. I've got pretty normal stats all the way down, so.
Sure. So this will be a roll plus danger, please.
I will do that. Situational bonus or penalty? None, I don't think.
Not currently, no.
Oh, no.
So that is a miss. That's a 5. So you all could spend some team to bump it up, or you could say no thanks, take the failure, and get experience.
I'm all on board for grabbing some experience from this situation.
All right, so.
Subrina wouldn't let that happen. I want to save my friend. Let me help you.
Well, it's not so much that she's failing at protecting herself. She's failing at her powers subconsciously protecting her instead.
Yeah. And don't worry, you'll get a chance to rescue your friend in a minute, but I think for this moment, so yeah, you will mark experience, but I think as you are, this is, like you said, trying to manifest your powers for the first time, and it's not going great. So I think gonna have you mark a condition. I think this will be your choice of either afraid, hopeless, or insecure.
I think afraid seems pretty applicable to this situation. Hopeless and insecure, I feel like, involves a little bit more mental gymnastics.
Sure.
She is in danger.
Yeah.
This is a fearful moment.
And I don't know if maybe I need to check somewhere. I think there's something that kind of explains what, aside from what it says on the tin, there's somewhere that breaks down what the conditions mean a bit more. But so that is happening. Corvid, you see that the boys are getting smacked around a little bit, but suddenly there are so many students now in danger, including your best friend Chloe.
Sabrina's eyes get wide and brighter, and she is going to move to intercept the civilians from being attacked. She is going to I think she's gonna try and like make a light shield that kind of like cuts through this water to block it off from Chloe, and then get underneath her and catch her if she can.
Okay. Yep. So I think this is probably a defend someone roll.
Mm-hmm.
So please roll plus savior, unless you've got something else for it.
I'm not great. Sorry. I was trying to see if there was anything else I could do, but no, that is good. Let's do it. I'm not great.
Maybe you'll roll well.
An 8.
Okay, that's an 8. So would be a mixed success unless people want to spend team from the pool to help out.
I think we should go ahead and spend some team from the pool for this one, since it wouldn't be that bad to spend the points there.
Yeah.
All right. So how do 2 of you help out to bump this up to full success?
So Flynt got like thrown into a wall, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's going to start like ripping bricks out of the wall and like throwing them down at at the guy.
Sure.
Hi,
Yeah.
Junior.
Hi, Junior.
This sounds pretty destructive. Don't you have like a power that that has something to do with being destructive?
Well, when you
Yes.
directly engage a threat, you can cause significant collateral damage to your environment to choose an additional option, even on a miss.
Yep. So that would come into play if he was making an actual roll, which I could stipulate is what he needs to do for the help to succeed. But often I would just be like, okay, yeah, if it makes sense for you to do that, then yeah, you are able to. You're spending the team from the pool. That's enough.
I mean, when I go into attack next, I'm definitely going to be using that ability.
Almost certainly, it is a very fun bowl move. But okay, so there's that. Chloe or Chrysalis, do you have something to help out here?
I was thinking I could just telekinetically reinforce the shield or something to help it cut through the water.
Okay.
Maybe expand the edges or something.
All right, so yeah, as the Silver Wolf draws Kai Jr.'s attention, Corvid and Chrysalis, you are able to work together to cut free many of the civilians. There's still a few left, but you get a lot of them free, including Chloe. So please make sure you've subtracted 2 from the pool.
I think
Okay.
Corvid, like, full on just catches her. Superman style. Are you
All right,
okay?
wait,
You should get to cover.
When you catch her, she looks up at you and her eyes are glowing like full on green, and there's like weird like wiggly vines coming out of her hands.
Sabrina looks, or Corvid looks back at her with her own glowing green eyes, and they're just having a moment.
So here's where so I was told to take an advancement.
Mhm.
I took the doomed advancement that gives you a burn and 3 flares from the Novus playbook.
Yep.
So here's where having a condition marked is going to be helpful for me because
Mhm.
I'd like to charge up my powers.
All right. Yes. Let's see. Let's see. At some point, please add this to your sheet. Or okay, so I see-
The burn and flares. It's if you
Okay.
scroll all the way down, it's there.
Gotcha. All right. So, yeah, let's go ahead and do that. So you're gonna roll plus conditions marked to charge up.
Yep. There's a button here. I'm just gonna hit it and hope that works.
Yep.
Oh my god,
Oof.
Chloe, you're so bad at this.
Yep. So it's the 4+1. It did get the +1 from your other condition marked. So on a miss, you can hold 2 burn and mark 3 conditions, or you can maybe get a teammate to help you and make it not mark so many conditions.
Has
I'm right
anyone
here.
Has anyone used the +1 forward that I had from
No, so
my
I guess
directing page?
you could take that at this point in time.
Sure. If I take the +1 forward, it would knock me up into the 7 range, where
Yep.
I'd only mark 1 condition.
Yeah,
I'm
and you
totally
get
on board
3
for
burn.
that.
Okay, so
Okay.
that floating +1 forward is gone. You get 3 hold, and you mark a single condition, your choice.
I'm gonna say that now she's angry.
All right. Let's go back to, well, let's see. Kai Jr. has only reacted up till now, really. I think it's his turn to do something, and so he is going to kind of gather up the students with him, and he kind of pulls them in, and his core body kind of expands, and the students get pulled in, and now they're kind of lumped together in a swirling pool of water in his body. And I should clarify for our new players, this is mostly sort of kind of Spider-Man rules of nobody dies, so just be aware of that. But you don't necessarily know that in character, and now it seems like there's some students who are maybe sort of drowning in the villain's body.
Can I try and provoke him?
Yes, you could.
To leave the civilians alone and just come at me.
All right.
Because I also have, you've got a head you don't need. So when you provoke someone with obvious threats and show force, I can roll danger instead of superior.
Yep.
I'm just like the obvious threat being like just trying to be the big bad wolf over here.
Yep, exactly. So yes, you can go ahead and roll plus danger to attempt to provoke someone.
Leave them alone. Come at me.
All right. So because you got a full 14, roll 20 calls that a kapow. That's one of the best things about the roll 20 masks game is the commentary it gives on certain rolls. So yeah, on a 10 plus, they rise to the bait and do what you want. So they are going to, they've just pulled in the civilians, but then they kind of spit them out, and Kai Jr. is going to be like,
All right, you mangy mutt, let me give you a bath.
and he is going to lunge at you and
I like
attempt to
that.
kind of grapple you and kind of pull you into the water.
He's just gonna like dive right in.
All right, so you now find yourself swimming about in Kai Jr. We'll resolve that in just a little bit as we get to, I think it's going to be either Corvid or Chrysalis now.
Yeah. I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing. I'm just gonna. Yeah, I'm just gonna run up and try and. I'm gonna do my standard spikes out and just start trying to attack him.
All right, so please roll to directly engage a threat.
Okay.
Ammo.
That is a 10. So on a hit, you trade blows. On a 10 plus, you get to pick 2.
All right, and I am going to use. Nope, not that one. Wait. I know I have a move.
When you
Yeah,
directly
not
engage.
human enough.
Yep.
Yeah. And yeah, terrifying fashion. I can choose an additional thing on here, but I mark a condition.
Yep. So if you do that now, you'll be able to pick 3 of the 4 things at the cost of marking a condition.
I'm going to take something from him, Silver Wolf.
Yeah.
I'm going to. I guess create a further opportunity for others.
Okay. Would you like to add one to the pool, make it just kind of a floating +1?
I think the floating +1 again.
Okay.
And I guess do the impress, surprise, or frighten again.
All
If
right.
he's not already what he's two of those things now.
Yeah. So I think what probably happens is you are going in, you're trying to get Silver Wolf out, but there's just too much resistance, and so you back up a little bit and then charge in and just launch yourself through, basically tackling Silver Wolf out through the midsection of Kai Jr. But you do so, leaving Kai Jr. kind of destabilized a bit as a big chunk of their mass has just been displaced. But, they are certainly surprised, maybe even a little frightened by this. But again, because you did not resist or avoid their blows, as you are coming out the other side, you kind of twist in the air to shield Silverwolf, and so you land fully on the pavement. And please mark a condition of your choice.
Okay. Ooh.
Silverwolf, you are just grabbed in a big old bug hug.
Thanks, bro.
Anytime.
I'm not very good at swimming. Only doggy paddle.
Everyone dislikes.
I'm loving every moment of this.
Subrina is going to attempt. She's gonna put Chloe down. Are you okay?
She's looking down at her hands and kind of confused. And she turns around and looks at Kai Jr. and there's a clear, really angry look on her face.
We're gonna have to talk about this later. Awesome powers. Super cool to know you have them. I'm gonna just go, and she flies over, and she's going to get right in front of Kai Jr. She just lands on the ground in front of him and says, "Hey, Calamari, how does it feel to get your butt beat by a bunch of kids over and over again?" I'm gonna try to provoke him.
All right. So please. Oh, sorry, that was a noise out of my hallway that I thought was something I needed to pay attention to. So yes, please provoke someone. Roll plus superior.
Ba-bam! A 10!
All right, so they rise to the bait and do what you want. What is it that you want them to do in this moment?
I want his focus to be on me, and so that Chrysalis and Silverwolf can kind of get a sneak attack.
Sure. And so as you are doing this, this will also lead well into one of the condition moves that I always forget to have the villains do when they mark a condition. Now that he is afraid from having been just so bodily attacked, he's going to lash out without thought at a threat. So he kind of turns towards you, and as he is restabilizing, he kind of he's towering up above you a bit. His big midsection is open, and he's just like, "I'm going to get you!" And he just kind of collapses on you. But then as he does, it kind of starts reforming and constricting you like a boa constrictor made out of water.
Okie dokie.
And so I don't know if you need to take a condition for that just yet, but you are in dire straits now.
That's alright.
I think we're back to Chloe.
I think. Looking at my burns and flares, the most useful thing that's gonna be here is the overcharge. Because the other two things I have are snatch and moat. And snatch would be to grab something. Moat would be to put a barrier up. Overcharge feels right here.
Sure.
So she's just walking towards him. Her eyes are glowing, fists are clenched, and she doesn't know what she's gonna do, but the fight or flight has activated, and flight is evidently not an option now. She just yells and pushes her hands forward, and vines, like, instead of like these like little like snaky root vines, they like just continue to kind of pour out of her arms, and they're like now much larger, much more substantial vines. And she's going to try and basically wrap him up and prevent him from moving.
All right. So because that is basically doing a 10 plus on an Unleash Your Powers. So yeah, on a hit you do it.
Okay.
And so you are spending 2 of your 3 burn to do that.
Yeah.
So you...
Which, wait, like, if I'm reading that correctly, it means that you basically don't roll?
Correct. Yeah, you basically get to say, I got a 10 plus on this move.
Cool. She does that.
Yep, so Corvid, you are just wrapped up in this water, and you're like, oh, this is maybe not great. And then suddenly there are just vines everywhere wrapping around as well. But as you were maybe trying to do before, Chloe, the vines are starting to kind of just osmose the water. You know, it's not like, oh, they're just, he's gone, but it's definitely weakening him, and Corvid, you now have a chance to escape.
Like, is he made out of water?
Mostly.
So she's basically squeezing him like one of those like, you know, in the 90s with the like the little see-through like squeezy toys with the water and the glitter inside.
Yeah.
Like she's squeezing him, and the part that is holding Corvid starts to like sort of swell and balloon out between the vines. Like, that's your chance. Go.
So you are lifted up in the air now. You're squeezed in such a way that your head breaks the water. Think maybe let's go back to one of the boys, give them a chance to act in this moment.
Seeing how Chrysalis like kind of blew through the guy and like threw him off balance because he like displaced a lot of water. I think Flynt thinks that's a good idea to just try and keep on displacing a lot of water, and you know he's got a lot of body mass too, so he's gonna throw himself at the water, kind of like burst the bubble that Corvid is inside.
Okay. This sounds like a directly engage a threat moment.
And I'm going to be using a China shop too, so this will probably cause some damage to surrounding infrastructure.
All right.
Ooh, that's a 13.
Okay, so on 10 plus, you pick 2 from the list to either resist or avoid their blows, take something from them, create an opportunity for your allies, or impress, surprise, or frighten the opposition.
You know what? I'm fully copying Chrysalis here, taking Corvid from him. I'm gonna resist his blows, and then I'm also gonna do in a China shop so that I get another additional option. And like I think like he takes Corvid out, like blows through the water, but like his momentum sends him hurling into a building just behind. And he has to like shield Corvid out, or maybe he just like pops the bubble so Corvid can get out. And create an opportunity for my allies.
Okay. Also, thank you, Anonymous, for ordering some of our merch. We got some good merch in the store. You can check it out beneath our faces. So, yeah, I think... How does this sound? You know, you go in, you grab Corvid, sweep her up in your arms, you reposition yourself mid-air to, like, catch your legs against the side of the building, but because of all the force momentum, it kind of craters in a little bit. But you've got Corvid out and away from safety.
Perfect.
Corvid's glowing eyes kind of like grow a little bit bigger and look up at you as you're carrying her.
All right.
So I think, given what is currently happening to Kai Jr., they are going to mark another condition, but they are going to mark hopeless, and so what they are going to attempt to do veer toward drastic and terrible action as they kind of reform themselves around the vines, Chloe. And so while you can tell there seems to be a lot less mass to him, he does kind of move and morph around them and is charging towards you and is basically going to try and become a suit around you and attempt to take you hostage again. So
Okay.
you all see that Chloe is now inside Kai Jr. She's wearing a Kai Jr. suit, but she does not seem to be the one in control.
I mean,
Oh, I'm sorry.
Chloe, watch out! And with Corbett still in his arms, he's also gonna try and save Chloe.
All right.
This is gonna be great.
He's just not smart.
So
Did,
this,
did Kevin go?
Well, I'm gonna try and like be
Sure.
be a defender, but yeah, go ahead, Chrysalis, for whatever you're gonna do first.
Okay. I think I'm gonna go. I marked kind of angry and guilty earlier on the last round on stuff.
Yeah.
So I think I'm gonna try and clear angry. I think I'm gonna go ham, and I'm just gonna telekinetically just like rip up a building and start chucking the pieces at him. Just like, let's end this. And
There's some
if I
big
get the hits right, I'm gonna try and telekinetically yank Chloe out of there as well. But
sure. I will also remind you, you do have the coming for you move, that when you mark a condition, you get +1 forward against the person you most blame for causing it.
yes, I am aware.
Okay, so this sounds like it's still going to be mostly... You're trying to attack, but you're also trying to save Chloe. I think this will probably be an Unleash Your Powers roll.
Okay, so plus free.
Yep.
All right, and I got a +1. Forward.
And I believe there is still a floating +1 forward out there, but you don't need it because you rolled double sixes.
Fucking.
So, you do it. So you think there's some fallen rubble from all the destruction that Silver Wolf has caused. You're close enough to the campus that there's probably some kind of shed somewhere that you rip the side paneling out from that, and you're just sending a whole bunch of debris at Kai Jr., but you're hitting him in such a way that you're just like chiseling off bits of water. And Chloe, this is a terrifying experience, as all the stuff is like almost hitting you, but it's just barely hitting like the water that is surrounding you, until there is enough of a opening, like he has knocked away enough water that you then feel yourself being pulled in this telekinetic grip, just fully away from the remaining water. And so you get pulled away. There is now just a very sad Kai Jr. puddle on the street that is trying to make its way to a sewer drain, but he does not seem like he has much fight left in him. And any one of you could easily just like, probably mostly either Chrysalis or Corvid with your powers, contain him in some way.
Okay, I thought you were gonna say knock him out, but yeah, I think that as Flynt is flying towards Chloe, she's just gonna like levitate up and out of his arms to go and deal with the problem, and she'll use her light in front of him to kind of. I really kind of want to do the Raven thing where she just like absorbs someone into her cloak, but I can't do that. So it's just like her cloak billows out, the light shines out from like behind her, and this sort of like light sphere appears around him, and it kind of like goes into the ground to contain him.
Yeah, and so you see just like this sad little puddle with like a little bit of the Kai Jr. face like trying to dink up against the dome. Just like, curses!
I will get you next time, you squires.
There won't be a next time, villain.
That was a pretty good line.
Thank you. I've been practicing.
And with that, we are going to come out of combat, basically. So for Kevin, because you attempted to break something important, we'll get to that at the end of the scene. So for any of the clear a condition moves, that happens at the end of the scene. So I'll let you get to whatever you want to role play in a little bit here, but just as a reminder, some things you could do. You all have different team moves for, sharing a triumphant moment with someone, or you could also take this opportunity, maybe not right this moment, but after things have calmed down a little bit, to comfort and support someone, help them clear a condition. Just remind you of the things you have available to do. But
I think Flynt was already in the process of like dropping down to help Chloe. Going water break.
Redeemed a water break in the chat.
Flynt was already dropping down to help out Chloe. He lands next to her. Chloe, are you all right? What was with all those vines? I didn't know that Kai Jr. had vine power too.
She's like kind of like she's got like her head in a hand, and like kind of blinking and like trying to figure out exactly what just happened to her as well. And she's like, I don't know. That was really weird.
Can Flynt realize that like the vines were coming from her?
Do you think he can put that together?
I think it's a slow process, but he's like, wait a second, you have powers, and he's gonna pick you up into a big hug, big werewolf hug.
It's definitely like the overexcitable dog and like the limp cat situation.
So I think he's sharing a triumphant celebration with Chloe here.
All right, so
and since she is already my love, I take influence over them and mark potential.
Okay. So, yep, that is definitely a thing you can do. Did you already have influence over Chloe?
I did not.
Okay.
No.
So you have it now. Make sure you both mark that on your sheets.
Yeah.
Chloe, how do you feel about this? Is this maybe... Do you see this as a triumphant celebration or sharing a vulnerability?
Oh, God. I don't think she knows how to feel about this quite yet. So she's also a teenager, which is like, nobody look at me or I'll die. Yeah. So like being like hugged and like flopped around in front of everybody else in the middle of the schoolyard, this feels very vulnerable.
Okay. So yeah, and it's up to you if you want to do the vulnerability move, which for the doomed is when you share a vulnerability or weakness with someone, give them influence over you and ask if they honestly think there's hope for you. If they say yes, mark potential or clear one box of your doom track. If they say no, mark a condition or mark your doom track. But you can also just be awkward teenager in this moment if you wish.
Yeah. I think that like there's like nervous laughter and she like pats him to put her down. And I don't think she's necessarily going to ask if there's hope for her. But she would ask, is this really a good thing?
What do you mean? Of course it is. You can tussle with the best of them now.
There's like the weird like kind of like crinkly like rustling leaf noises of just like the vines retracting back into her hands. And like she just kind of looks down at those like, huh. Like this is different. This is new. This is going to require a little bit of thought and study.
Yeah. So, seems like Flynt said yes. So, if can either mark potential or clear one box of your doom track.
I've got no doom. So, unless, of course, we could have said that her using her overcharge earlier and like using so many of her powers for the first time would count as overexerting herself, being, you know, the sickly girl that she is.
Yeah, I can see that. I'll leave that up to you.
In which case, I'll go ahead and mark one on my doom track, but I will also take the potential rather than removing that doom.
Sure. Sounds good to me. All right, what are our two Squire veterans doing in this moment?
Contacting everyone else. Contact the proper authorities. I'm sure that someone is on the way already because of the commotion.
Yeah.
But turning to Chrysalis and did you know about Chloe?
No. Why would I know? Did you know about Chloe?
No. You can read people's minds, Kevin.
Yeah, I don't go around doing it.
Why
Seems like a mean
not?
thing to do to people.
I guess. You can read my mind whenever you want. You already know I'm an alien.
Mm-hmm.
And so, is it fun in this moment for Chloe to overhear the name Kevin and you're an alien?
I don't know how close we are.
I would make myself pierce the mask if I were to overhear something like this.
Yeah.
I feel like she's kind of already having a moment to herself.
Yeah, so we'll say you are far enough away that it's kind of these two moments are happening simultaneously, and as was
Obviously
said,
not in front of Kaiju.
Yeah, I mean, I think you probably turn up your light powers in Kai Jr.'s. Yeah, he is thoroughly subdued at this point.
What should we do about it? Do you think we should tell anyone?
I mean, maybe talk to Chloe, see what she wants to do about it.
Yeah. Hey, I talked to Jade. I know we talked about it and we said that you were gonna ask first, but I kind of got excited and did it, and like they said like maybe, but it had been a big day, so.
Oh, all right.
I mean, they weren't like disinterested. Like, I mean, they might even have been interested. It was just like big day.
Okay. Good to know. Should we maybe go join in on the...
Yeah, this'll stay.
Okay.
I'll float over.
So Flynt
We'll
and Chloe,
float
you see the two floaters coming to join you.
Don't call us that. How dare you?
What was the name we came up with before? The Xenoteens?
Oh yeah, the non-humans.
Yeah.
Chloe's gonna be like pulling up the hood of her jacket, like, nobody look at me. Like both the like teen embarrassment, but also like the realization that she should probably be keeping her identity secret.
Lynn, sorry, the Silver Wolf. You did a good job.
Yeah, I did a great job. And his tail's just wagging excitedly. You guys are awesome. This is great.
You're awesome. And young lady.
And can Chloe have like started to like kind of back away so that it's like, I'm getting out of here, I'm going home.
So
you have amazing powers as well.
To instead of participating in a conversation that she's going to find difficult, perhaps she could be running from something difficult in this situation in order to clear her afraid condition.
Sure. So, Corvid, you are attempting to reach out to your friend who just had this experience, but she is not stopping, not listening, just.
He'll come around, right?
Hopefully.
I mean, presumably the two of you know where she lives.
Yeah. Maybe I'll go see her.
Corvid, why do you know where Chloe lives?
Because I know Chloe, like, out of uniform.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
I'm a shapeshifter too.
Awesome. But yeah, I'll go to Chloe's house and talk to her. I haven't seen her family in forever either, so that'd be fun.
Okay. Just tell her that, like, she should probably, like, is this new? Is it new?
I never knew she had any powers.
Okay. She's probably gonna have to register it. So, like, maybe have her talk to people about it. But if she needs to talk to anyone about it, she could talk to me. Or Chrysalis is good about it too.
Yeah, I mean, you guys, like, know everything, so she could probably really
Basically.
benefit from talking to you guys. But I'll go make sure she's okay.
Do you want us to come with you?
Yeah!
Okay.
We just went on a journey there, thinking, oh, I have friends now that can come with me to places.
So, I imagine at that moment, Flint is like, "Oh, well, let's go," and then Sabrina and Kevin have to be like, "Wait, we have to wait for the paladins to show up and take control of the scene." And
We're on the job still.
Okay. Yeah.
So it's not too much later, and yeah, we'll say it's the Musketeer that comes to debrief you because I want to do his voice, and so Corvid and Chrysalis, I see you have subdued Kaijunia. Very good. And the Silver Wolf. How was your first day on the job, as it were?
He, standing amongst the rubble of the buildings that he's really broken apart, is just tail still wagging. It was great.
I can see that. We are probably going to have to debrief this, but it seems like nobody was terribly injured.
No, just they got wet. We like nobody got hurt. We did really good this time.
Oh, speaking of having gotten wet, Flynt, all his fur is drenched, so he probably reeks of wet dog.
Oh jeez. Subrina had just like as soon as she came out and the threat was dealt with, you saw a like green line go from the top, like a printer, like go from the top of her to the bottom, and for all of her wet clothes turned dry.
And for Tyler and Danae's benefit, the Musketeer is a humanoid mouse person. Let me see if I can find my description of him from the episode I did before.
Flynt is going to shake the water off of him like a dog.
Yep. So, yeah, you've got a humanoid person, 5 foot tall. He's a white fuzzy man with a blue tabard, pantaloons, a big sweeping hat with a giant feather in it, boots, gloves, and a rapier at his side. But he's got white fur covering him, a long pink tail, and a fuzzy snout. And so he looks at all of you, kind of looks at the rest of the situations, like, all right, well, we'll have one of the repair teams in to handle this, check insurance and all that, but seems like there was some good work, and I apologize again for it is our fault that, it was a red herring, and
No, it wasn't your fault, it was red herring. It's just so tricky.
Yes,
Various red herring.
it is one of those things where it's like we know about him, and yet we can't unduly hold him, or suppress his powers. That would be
Right?
unjust. And so, I mean, don't worry. He will be, he'll get some jail time for aiding and abetting. But I am just so sorry that you were put in danger like this.
It's our job.
All a good day's work. Just
Kevin
is
just
completely.
Well then, like I said, we want you to come back to HQ for some debriefing, but then after that, you will be free to go for the day.
Cool. Turns to Flynt. There's not that much paperwork, but there is some paperwork. If you just go really fast, it goes a lot faster.
Okay. I mean, that just sounds tough, though.
Yeah, it's kind of the worst part of the job, but that means we got to fight, which is cool.
Yeah, but paperwork sounds boring. I don't like to do paperwork.
Ugh, so boring. But usually we go get ice cream afterwards.
I love
Sabrina,
ice cream, though.
or Corbin, are you just blindly signing paperwork that they put in front of you?
No.
Okay.
So we'll kind of do the next bit, sped up a bit. You're back at HQ doing the debriefing. By this time, social media video of the fight has come to light, and so they see that the collateral damage from both Flynt and Kevin, and so you two kind of get a bit of a talking to from the Mouseketeer, and so this is an influence move as an adult, is telling you who you are or how the world works, and basically saying like, okay, yes, you did protect everyone, but it would be better if you could try and do it without causing so much collateral damage.
Flynt gives a big puppy dog eyes of like, oh, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to break everything.
Yeah, and so you can either accept what they say, and if you do that, I will adjust your labels one up, one down. If you want to try and keep your labels where they are, you can attempt to reject their influence.
I like my labels where they are. I will try to reject.
Well, I will also tell you, the labels are going to be shifting all the time.
Yeah,
like even at the end of the session, they'll be moving, but you're welcome to try and reject the influence now.
Yeah, no, I think it's his first time. He's still trying to figure it out, so I think he'll accept the advice.
Okay, and so for you, it is going to be, danger down 1, savior up 1. And what about you, Kevin? Are you accepting or attempting to reject?
I mean, it's good advice. I'll accept it.
Okay, so yeah, same thing. Danger down 1, savior up 1. All right. We're getting near the end of the time, so I think we'll probably pick up next time with going to actually talk to Chloe and all that stuff. But Chloe, is there anything else you want to do in this last little bit?
I think that she goes home, says hi to her stay-at-home dad. He's a writer, freelance writer, so he's always home. And she's home a little bit earlier than he was expecting. So she lies and says that she came home because she wasn't feeling well. But in reality, it turns out that she's feeling better than she ever has.
I think as you said, it's like, oh, is this just like a little unwell, or is this we should get the car ready unwell?
Oh no, it's just like I had a headache and I was tired. I figured it'd be good to lie down.
Okay, just make sure you hydrate, and I'll bring you some food in a little bit.
Yep, Dad. Thanks. Just leaves. She shakes her water bottle at him to show him that she has it, and then goes upstairs. And then she stands in front of the mirror for a bit, and I think that she looks down at her hands, and vines start coming out again. She just sucks them back in again. and that's where she'll leave off.
All right. Seems like a good place to me. So, that is going to conclude tonight's session, or at least the gameplay portion of it. We've got some housekeeping to do. So, if you open the start and end of session handout, we have some questions that we go over at the end of every session. And so you have 3 options to pick from. You can grow closer to the team, explain who made you feel welcome, give influence to that character, and clear a condition or mark potential. You can grow into your own image of yourself, explain how you see yourself and why, shift one label up and another down, or grow away from the team, explain why you feel detached, take influence over you away from another character. So if anyone knows what they would like to do first.
I mean, I feel like Flynt is definitely growing closer to the team. And I think the person who helped the most with that was Corvid, who made him feel a lot more like welcome to the team. She was explaining how to do the job. So, yeah, I think I'll give her influence and mark potential.
Very good. All right, who would like to go next?
I think that Subrina grew closer to the team, but for like, and I think that Kevin helped her do that because she, like, okay, we are solid, and like we know what we're doing. Like he reassured her of that, of like, okay, I can lead these other people, I can help these other people because I know that you're like reassuring me that we know what we're doing. We have actually we have some influence.
Sure. So, do you already have influence over Subrina? Okay, so that means what you get to do is you get to shift her labels one up and one down. And then, Subrina, you also get to either clear a condition or mark potential.
I'll mark.
All right. So what do you got? Oh boy.
Yeah. I don't need that much freak. I have a lot of freak that I don't use.
I think I'm gonna shift freak down. I'm doing it, by the way, so.
Oh, okay.
You don't have to. Sorry, you can do it if you prefer.
No, I'm hands off.
All right, and I'm gonna move. I think savior up. You're doing a lot of saving people.
Hunting thing.
All right. Though I am looking, I think one of your labels got messed up somewhere because your sum is currently only a 2. It should be a 3.
My what?
The sum of your labels, it should, by default, it should be a 3. And if you've got an advancement, it should only go up. And yet somehow it's saying you're at 2 right now.
Oh, I think my savior should have been at 0.
Well,
not
but
if
David just moved it up to 1.
Oh, okay.
But you're still missing a 1 somewhere, somehow.
Oh.
So
Should I just move 1 up?
Yeah.
I'll move mundane up.
All right. Very good. All right. Who would like to go next?
I think Chloe is growing into a new image of herself. A self with powers.
Yes.
So that's essentially it. Like she's learning new things about herself and that she didn't know before. So I'd say that would either raise her danger or her freak, but I think it definitely lowers her mundane.
Sure. All right. So yeah, go ahead and make those changes. And also just going to remind you that for your burn and flares, you lose all burn at the end of the scene, so you no longer have any hold.
Correct.
All right.
Which leads me to a question.
Mm-hmm.
How often can you charge up your powers?
Pretty much, it if it's your turn to do something, I think you can.
Interesting. All right.
But it does have, it's high risk, high reward.
I love that kind of stuff. That sounds great.
If
Wonderful.
you ever hit all of your conditions marked, you are just gone from the scene.
Oh boy.
All right. I think that leaves us with just Kevin.
Yeah, I think I'm going to grow closer to the team. Specifically, Flynt. We hung out a lot. We talked a lot. He held his own in the fight.
Chris is like my new best friend.
Yeah, Flynt's a good guy. So yeah, influence.
All right.
I'm going to mark a potential because I was one away from an advancement the entire time, and I succeeded on every roll, annoyingly.
Yeah. And just as a reminder, whenever you mark enough potential for an advancement, you can take it then and there. It's not only at the end of a session. You can just, hey, suddenly you have a new power.
Oh, neat.
So, something to be aware of. Okay, I think that's it for the start and end of session stuff. So I think that's it for the mask stuff. Hello, Raiders. We are just wrapping up, but we've got a little bit left to do. So this is not in masks itself. This is something, I'm not sure where Sid got it from. It's something we've been doing in our Good Society games, is stars and wishes. So at the end of each session, we go around and we say, a star of, something that you thought another player did that was really good. You can say it's something that you thought you did was really good as well, but a star to someone, and then a wish for something that you want to see happen. So if someone has any in mind, you can go ahead and start.
Sure. My star is God, okay. I love Scott. Just everyone who's watched me play Monster Prom and Monster Camp knows I am in love with Scott, so there's that. But also, I think that I'm really enjoying Chloe's dynamic in the group, and I'm excited to see more of that. So I think the moments where she is like figuring out that she has powers, those are really cool tonight. And sort of like getting like her whole characterization I'm really enjoying. So that's my star. My wish, besides like I want to like see more conversations between all of them. My wish is that when we get to the dance, I want to see like all of the awkward, weird interactions we have, and kind of explore more of like the relaxation time, not in fight mode time stuff.
Yeah, definitely. All right. Who would like to go next?
I think, like, along those same lines, LB, like, I love the design for Subrina and Corvid. It's super awesome, and I like the character that you play, so that's my star. And while I am looking forward to some more interactions between the characters, I think this system is really enjoyable with its mechanics. So I'm looking forward to more messing around with the mechanics of this game.
Good,
and not
yeah.
necessarily like has to be in combat, but like just.
Oh yeah, no, there's a ton of stuff outside of combat.
Exactly.
I mean, we didn't do any of piercing the mask or comfort in supporting someone. There's a whole lot to do in social situations. And especially if y'all start using your influence on each other, that can lead to some fun stuff. All right.
My star is just all of the little things. To think of something specific, the fact that Subrina makes her Corvid hair green because she likes Chloe's hair. That fucking I love that. That's so sweet. But it's the little touches like that. It's the any place that we can kind of like find ways for our characters to interact and play off of each other. Those are the things that I really love. Um, what do I wish for? What do I wish? Just more. I'm excited to play again. That's it for me.
That is a perfectly valid wish. Yeah. All right, David, what you got?
I think my star was just the good boy himbo energy from Flynt. The reading the mind and the red ball just was cracking me up. It gave me some very werewolves from What We Do in the Shadows vibe, and yeah, it was just hilarious. I loved the whole thing. And wish. Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm just kind of with everyone. I'm my wish is to see exactly what goes down. I think the dance will be a very fun environment to explore the new group dynamic, and so yeah, kind of same wish as everyone, I guess. Just play the game more. It's going to be fun.
Yeah. And then for me, gosh, I mean, definitely, I think the star is just how quickly we were able to integrate the new members in. It feels like it's already going to be a fairly fleshed out group dynamic. So that was great to see. And then wish, I know this is mostly coming from me, but curious to see how the thing with the the weird shadows develops and what y'all make of that. So
Yeah.
we'll probably be seeing some more of that in the future. But it saddens me to say that everyone was saying I want to play more, I want to play more. Unfortunately, we will not be back with this game in 2 weeks due to some player absences. It's okay.
I'm sorry.
I'll do my best to be incredibly busy that day too, so it's not just LP.
Yeah. But we will be, Tabletop Tuesdays. We'll be back next Tuesday as David returns to running LB and I through our Call of Cthulhu game. We just found out that the new neighbors are melting people and sucking up their goo or something. So
Great.
We'll see what
That's so
happens
much fun.
there. As LB and I basically play the main characters from The Mummy. So if any of that sounds like a good time, come watch us then. The first episode is up on YouTube. And if you want to see more of Squire Squad, you can go back and watch the previous adventures. That's all up on our YouTube as well. Otherwise, our GGK's schedule is as normal. We've got our next stream of Wild Space, our D&D 5e space adventure. We're going to go try and fight the tentacle elder gods and kick them out of our dimension. No one mentioned the fact that we accidentally let them into the dimension in the first place. But we also have to deal with class issues and topple the capitalist patriarchy in this sector that we're currently in. So some good stuff happening there. Then Friday we've got Neon Souls. I may be there. What guesting? Saturday will be Saturday Night Star Power Overarms. If you like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure or Persona, check that out. Lots of fun stuff happening there. You might see one of the familiar faces here in that show. And then Sunday is Slain 101, the long-running Monster of the Week game that LB is part of. But all that is beneath our faces on the schedule if you're here at Twitch. You can also check us out on Twitter and our Discord. We've got the schedules there as well. I think that is everything. Anyone got stuff you do off channel that you would like to plug or promote? You can, we've got our Twitter handles here. You can follow us and find out what we're doing that away. But I think that is everything. So once again, thank you to my players for playing tonight. Thank you to the audience for hanging out with us. There was a whole lot of merch bought. We've got merch now, so you can check out that link in the chat. It's also beneath our faces. We've got shirts, mugs, sweatshirts, tank tops, phone cases. We've got a bunch of stuff there. Some of our common sayings from our various shows. I know one of them is a Roll for Smut shirt. So just check out the link, see what we've got there. Yes, it's all some good stuff. That is going to do it for us tonight. So once again, thank you everyone. And until next time, good game and good night, Internet.